Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, as I always say, there's more to the experience of going fishing than just the casting out and catching a fish. And one of the things that's really a part of fishing right now, this time of the year, is everything is alive. The bugs, so many different type of insects and bugs are around us. And my nephew recently came up from Virginia to this area, hadn't been up here in 11 years. And we talked about some of the experiences he has had down in Virginia being out in the environment. And I wanted to pass on this story today because I think it's a really important one. I told you before about ground bees and how aggressive, and oh boy, if you get near a ground bee's nest, look out, because they'll come after you and they'll follow you and they'll chase you, and they're horrible. Well, he told me about down in Virginia when he was out with two of his friends and they were on a trail, and somehow they came upon a ground bee's nest. That you don't know that until you step down and they come up out of the ground and start attacking you. So they started running, and his friend was running and running, and they were coming after him, and they almost zoned in on him, and he finally fell. And here they were about to get on top of him and sting him, and he looks where he had fallen, and there are two copperhead snakes ready to. I mean, what a thing to have happen to you. Number one, be attacked from the air and then fall on the ground and almost be attacked from the ground by even a more formidable opponent. Copperheads are pretty dangerous. I mean, they're more aggressive than rattlesnakes, and their bite can be deadly. So why am I telling you all this? Because I think what's really interesting is the reason these ground bees can keep attacking you is they give off pheromones. And these pheromones that as they get near you, you become an object of all these other bees in the area. They will know you're there because of the pheromones. So you may escape that swarm of bees, and you may go a half mile further, and another ground bee's nest, the bees in that nest will know you're coming, and they'll attack you. It's really, this is an amazing story to me, because it's happened to me before too. I remember one time I was fishing along the Deer River, and we were filming a show, and I wanted the mic, and this is going back when we didn't have cameras like we do now. They were so prehistoric almost. But I wanted to be able to capture that first cast, and I knew there was a log in the water that held walleyes. It was the home to this school of walleyes, year after year after year. So I knew they were going to be there, and I said to my cameraman, Dan, I said, I want you to be on me as I walk down the bank and make my first cast, because that first cast is everything, and I'm almost positive we can get a walleye. So down over the bank I went, and as I stepped forward, I stepped on a nest that I didn't know was there. And I got to tell you, I'm allergic to bees. So this makes this even worse. And up they came. And there was a huge field that we had got to the river by walking across. And I start running as fast as I can, which is nothing compared to how fast they can fly. And so they're trying to find my face. They love to get you in the face, and they did. And I mean, I was rolling on the ground. I was almost doing somersaults. And so I got stung. I got stung 3 or 4 times. And I'm thinking, oh boy, here I am doing a show. The last thing I want to do is go to a hospital or something. So my cameraman was a paramedic. He said, Don, I can get you to the Messina Hospital in so many minutes or whatever. I said, no, Dan, let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens as I go. My face started swelling and swelling, but I wasn't having any trouble breathing. By the end of the day, if you had ever seen that show, I looked like one of those early 1950s sci-fi movies. My face was so grotesque. It probably still is, but it was so grotesque that as I look back on that film and see that day, it was just unbelievable. And we ended the day, and this is how we ended this show. There was a log in the middle of the river, and I was fishing with my buddy John Clark. And we got to that. We'd been waiting all day. We were soaked. We probably had hypothermia and everything else. I said, John, let's sit on this log and just do a real casual, fun say goodbye to everybody. So we sat there on the log together. And just as I started to say, well, folks, this is it, or whatever I said, the log started rolling, and both of us went backwards into the water, and that's how the show ended. Anyway, my story about bees, how they can affect you, how ground bees this time of the year can really be dangerous, but that's part of getting in the outdoors and part of the risk. The risk-reward thing of anything is always a factor. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.